So another day. This is the end of the street where I live, and now we are going to join this route called the Route 63. I think this Route 63 goes all the way down to New Haven. So I'm gonna go down this Route 63 for maybe a couple of miles, and then I'll take a left to go inwards towards Cheshire, which will lead me to Wallingford. Standing on this red light, and now it's green. So I hope today it will be less crowded and not too many cars in front of us. Let's see. These roads are bad here. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell the vibration in my camera. Well, incidentally, the camera is just hanging down, so the vibrations get accelerated. Also, I think this has a sports package, so the suspension is slightly more tight, so it is more easier to feel all the bumps. Earlier when I had the run flat tires, those tires were much more stiff, so in those tires I could feel even more vibrations and the noise of the road was much higher. These tires are just basic pneumatic tires, so the noise level is down. And of course, this being a nice car, is supposed to be very, very silent. You can't really hear much. You can't hear much road noise. And it does pretty well in that regard. It does pretty well in that regard. These roads are much nicer here. Speed limit here is 50 miles an hour, so I'm doing like maybe 55. The roads are moderately smooth. On both sides there are these trees. I don't think many people live here. If they do, their houses are further inwards, and so this place is pretty safe. Beautiful though, nice trees on both sides. It's very green. This is a little bit like the experience at Smoky Mountains when we were driving in between and there were trees on both sides. So this is definitely one of the roads I like to drive on. Never much traffic, good condition roads. I need to slow down a bit. I'm gonna turn left. Alright. And this is the other section of the roads that I really like. Again, these are trees on both sides, houses in between the trees, hidden in between the trees. This should be a slightly more expensive place compared to where I live in Naugatuck. So this town might be Bethany. So it's the next town over to Naugatuck. This is how I like to drive. No one on the road. So this should be a good video opportunity. Yeah, lady running out there. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna slow down. That was not a very smart thing, I think, on our part, running with heels. What are you gonna do? My duty was to slow down, so I did. So we are going to keep going down on... No, so from 69, now we are going to 42. So we are going down 42 east. And the interesting thing is, I don't really know the names of these streets. All I know is their numbers. So earlier I used to need a GPS to travel. Now that I've driven here enough number of times that I sort of remember where I have to go. So that's good. So this place is again very beautiful to drive. And these roads are slightly more narrow. These are all one-lane roads, and there are lots of twists and turns. Forests on both sides. In between the forests, sometimes there are these houses. Well, I shouldn't really call them forests, but it's just, you know, land with trees. Yeah, it's forests. Yeah. It says 25 miles an hour, but I'm driving 50. I think everyone drives really fast here, so. Oh, this is nice. This is really beautiful. Tap the brakes a little bit and then turn. See, that guy is going pretty fast too, so compared to him, I'm going slower. So I think this is going to become a little dark as we go in here. Oh, this is very nice. This is very nice. Yeah. See, there's a street that goes up, so I'm sure there is somebody's house in there. Wow. I can turn my neck, but I can't turn the camera, so. And there's a bicyclist. Yeah. Whoa. Almost doing 55 miles an hour there. Slow down. This is really nice. I think today is a great day to make a video because there is just enough light and there is not so much sunlight to distort the contrasts, but there is enough light to make the video clear. So I think I'm gonna like this. So we're going to go to the end of the street and then hang a right. Now there are some really big, really nice houses here. Look at this. On my left is actually a barn. I can see a couple of horses. So, fantastic. Yeah, I wish I could just stop and turn the video that way. Maybe next time. I do want to concentrate on driving though. So again, beautiful houses on both ends. I think the medium-sized houses might be $400,000 to $500,000. The really large ones might be $1 million. I don't know. So this guy can't be bothered to put a turn signal on. So the beautiful roads continue here. This is also a very nice part of town. Houses on both ends. On both sides, I mean. Some of the houses are a little deeper, so I'm pretty sure they have a large amount of land, and those are the houses which are really, really expensive. Maybe $1 million or more. Big, large, palatial houses. So. So you see these walking signs coming up. So I think people oftentimes cross from one side to the other, and we have the obligation to yield to them. For instance, the guy in front of me. I'm going to slow down considerably and let him just pass. What? Cycle wala. He has the right to pass. This is a man who's running. He has the right to pass. Okay, we go. But overall, very nice roads. A beautiful scenic place to drive by. We did not really have this in Akron. We did not have much of this in Ohio. And I don't know why that is. Maybe this is a more expensive place to live. Very nice. Very nice. Only that there are some thuds in the road, and those are mostly because of manhole covers, which are not completely flattened out. So they are the ones which cause a thud, and hence the camera moves in a more exaggerated fashion. Okay. So I think we are more than halfway into the journey. Yeah, we're more than halfway into the journey. I've been driving for 17 minutes now, as I can see in the clock. The journey is like around 32 minutes, so just halfway. Unfortunately, yeah, there is this guy in front of me who's gonna spoil the view a little bit. Yeah, here the roads are wider and the place is not as foresty as it was before. But still nice houses. Yeah, all of these are nice houses. There is a old home facility, maybe it's a 55 and above community on my right back there. So it was more like a big-ish apartment complex with like maybe 50 apartments for people above the age of 55. Yeah. No, even this is nice, yeah. Yeah, and I think today, the day is just perfect for doing something like this. There's still a lot of light outside, but yet it's not very sunny. On the days when it is very sunny, you get a lot of shadows, and so that sometimes does not make a very good video. So, yeah, this is just out of a picture book. Man on the motorcycle. Oh yeah, this is another farm with horses on my left. I can turn my neck but can't turn the camera. So yeah, supposedly people own horses and it's cool. Horses are a lot of work, as I was told. Sarah's mom used to have a horse when they were younger, and they have a barn. And I'm told horses live for 20 years, so it's a 20-year commitment when you buy a horse. And it's a lot of work, so fun to pet a couple of times, but Little girl on a bicycle getting some exercise. No, it seemed like an older lady, not a little girl. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there is a bad section in this drive at all. All these streets are really nice to drive by. And you will see that none of these are highways. These are all little back roads, what they call back roads. So you cannot really do more than 40 miles an hour on these roads. But there is never really much traffic on these roads either. At least I have never seen any. If I want to go to the place I'm going today, the Wallingford courts, through highways, it'll take me twice the number of miles, but I will save on a couple of minutes. Only because that is all through the highways, and going through the highway, although is twice as many miles, but you can drive much faster. Plus, driving on the highway does have its advantages in the sense that you have to pay less attention because the roads are always straight and you go at a steady pace. Whereas here, the amount of miscellaneous traffic is higher. You have to pay a little bit more attention, but you do get a much nicer drive. You're able to look at houses and, sort of get a feel of what the neighborhoods are like. Well, now I wonder if you can get a feel of the neighborhood just by driving by, but it's still a good experience. I don't know which way is cheaper. That's a calculation I have not yet made. It might be more efficient to drive on the highway, but you're also driving twice the number of miles, so almost twice the number of miles. That was never true. That was never true in Ohio. That was never true in Akron. We always just took the highway because it was... I think because of the terrain of this place, they had a harder time trying to make straight highways. So 23 minutes into the drive, the time is around 6:22 p.m. in the evening. Green light for us. Okay. So now we're leaving behind those forestry tracks and onto slightly more town-ish sort of a place. But there are still trees on both sides. And as we go in, we will catch a glimpse of the highway. We'll catch a glimpse of the highway. So here, let's keep going straight. So, yep. On the right, I think on the right you will see that's where the highway is. So, going back. Okay. That's a green light. But I don't know what highway that is, so I never really take it. I just take the back roads as I was talking about before. Steep curve in the road, and this often ends in a red light. So this is a tricky place. Suddenly trying to accelerate and there's a red light. That can be not so good for your bumpers. here there's a little bit more traffic. There are slightly more number of roads. Of course, now we are in sort of like a small town center, so there is a little bit more traffic, but just just a little bit more. Nothing like Noida. Nothing like Noida. Is she watching where she's going? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this neighborhood looks a little bit run down, so not super fantastic, but not very bad either. I don't think I would live here, but and I think this not so nice neighborhood sort of leads into the really nice parts of Wallingford, and that's where the primary school is, where not the primary school, I think it's a high school. That's where I go to play tennis. So we'll see. In just about 5 minutes we'll be there. Lights green, let's go. Yeah, interesting intersections. This is a 1, 2. Yeah, this is a weird intersection. I think it's a 5-way. Is it a 5-way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a 5-way intersection. So lots of lights hanging above. So yeah, but not bad. Not very difficult to navigate. Now there are stores on one side, stores on my left, and I think maybe an empty park on my right. Or maybe some building, I don't know. Maybe some organization. I think now we are in Wallingford. And we go up a hill. And just one more red light. And this is their main street. Their North Main Street on the left and South Main Street on the right. So Main Street is the more important street of small towns like this, where I think the town was originally centered around. And so you have all sorts of shops around in the main street. Maybe some businesses, some banks, and maybe some flats, apartment complexes. And the houses are further up or further down. Okay, off we go. So we're almost there, just a little bit more. So we keep driving straight. And after this clearing is going to come the school. Now we have entered the school grounds, and I think on my left is the school building. And on the right, I don't know, maybe there are houses where these kids live, or maybe some professor, teachers' housing. And so now everything here is to do with the school. 4-way stop sign. I came last, so 1, 2. That's your turn. And now it's my turn. And I'm going to just turn right in here, in these school gown streets. Excellent. And here I need to drive really slow because we are actually in the school premises. Very nice. School children playing on the right. And here are the tennis courts on the right. Excellent. Now finding parking is always difficult here. So let's see. That's never a smart idea, is it? So here we are.